Affordable versus luxury homes in Kansas City. In this video, we've got 3 new construction homes at completely different price points. The first one comes in at $425 in one of the most affordable Kansas City suburbs. House number 2 comes in just under $800,000 in one of the most popular suburbs with one of the most sought after school districts. And finally, house number 3, it comes in at just under $1.3 million. One of the most luxurious communities here in Kansas City.
And throughout the video, we'll be breaking down the major differences in these locations, the price points, and what these communities have to offer.
Starting with house number 1, the specs are on the screen. It's 2 beds, 2 baths, just over 1,400 square feet. The basement's not finished, but it is on one of the most expensive lot types, which is a walkout lot. And you heard it in the intro, under $425. I know we're starting inside the house, but I do want to draw some attention to the front porch here.
Yeah, it's a good sized front porch. I mean, you could put a couple chairs out there. I love how they did the stone wrap around the column, and then you do have some fortress rail out there as well.
Now, as we increase price points from house number 1 to 2 to 3, you will see more and more extravagant entries. One thing that's very impressive for this specific house, even though it's only 1,400 square feet, not like 4,000 or something crazy like that, is that it has a full basement. Even though it's not finished, one trend we're starting to see around Kansas City is the rise of slab foundations, which cuts that cost, makes hitting this price point a little bit easier. So not only do you have the unfinished basement, but also got some exterior features that tend to drive up the cost quite a bit, which makes this very impressive. But Jordan, the front door, I like the windows here. You don't have to worry about privacy, but you do get light. You got upgraded trim throughout the house.
Yeah, I love how they trimmed out this house. I mean, having this extra trim above the doors is not something we would normally see. And then they also have the 6-inch baseboard with the
we got the quarter rounds. Which we don't always see this most of the time, especially even if you look in the 700-800. So that's certainly nice to see. But you do have the coat closet right off the entry. One other thing that we want to mention is this plan is very open. So despite the square footage, you've got quite a bit of space, tall ceilings, and Jordan, look at the box vault in the family room.
Added the box vault. These are already 9-foot tall ceilings, so you do get a lot more extra volume in the room. They also added stone around the fireplace. Just a lot of added value at this price point.
Yes, we'll get to the deck here in a second, but they did some things on there that we don't even see sometimes until we get to the 700s or 800s. One thing I want to mention about the kitchen, this is very impressive for $425. Cabinets to the ceiling on this side. You have underlighting, so you've got the downlighting. Well, I've got a client building in Shawnee, Kansas right now, and to add this, it was like $1,200 with outlet bars underneath. So to already see that included, very impressive. And one thing, we've even gone through properties up to like 1.7 where they did not have soft closed doors. This entire house, soft close hardware, very impressive.
Yeah, they really didn't cut any corners on this home. I mean, and to get it at this price range, it's like Nick said before, a lot of these builders, they're trying to cut costs to get down to this level. And Nick, we've got a 3-car garage here too versus a 2-car.
Yeah, and you'll see that on the drone footage. But coming back to the kitchen, the last 2 things that I want to mention, it looks like plumbing fixtures upgraded throughout. You've got a darker accent color on the island and the kitchen surround cabinets. It costs more to do that. You saw the white trim everywhere else. And then the final thing here is you actually have real solid surface countertops. They're not laminate. They're nothing lower end like that. So really materials that'll last. And then we talked about the trim. You've got real engineered hardwood floors, but this is the dining room. So to your right was that front entry. We have the garage entry right here. You'll start to see boot benches and even more extravagant entries as we climb the price point throughout the video. When we first walked through the house, I thought this was the pantry. I almost fell straight down the stairs. So we'll come back to that in a second. But Jordan, we do have the pantry around the corner.
Yeah, good size walk-in pantry. They did the enamel paint in here, which is a nice added feature because it just lasts a lot longer. It's easier to clean.
Now, this part of the main floor is the private living spaces. We've got a bathroom straight back, but I do want to start with the first secondary bedroom. So pretty good size. You've got the tall ceilings, the carpet. I know you can't feel through the screen, but the carpet definitely upgraded. It's not builder grade or anything like that. And then you've actually got a walk-in closet over here, but we're gonna take a look at the full bathroom.
A full bath on the main. So I love how they did the extra wide subway tile around the tub. You do have granite countertop and then the brushed nickel hardware.
Now, we've only got one other bedroom on this main floor. We'll show you the basement in a second. It's unfinished. The cost, don't hold my feet to the fire on this because it doesn't make builders happy when I do this, but could be anywhere depending on what you want finished and the quality, anywhere from like 35, probably 40, all the way up to 60 if you want like a wet bar, expanded patio off of that exit. But the reason I bring that up is because you do have the laundry room in between these two bedrooms. If you did finish the basement, you could probably get an extra 1 or 2 bedrooms down there. But this master, Jordan, is huge.
Yeah, very good sized master bedroom. They did a box vault in here as well. It's trimmed out at the top. And the one thing that we don't see hardly at all, it has 2 closets.
Yeah, you've almost got a his and hers closet. This is the one that's much, much bigger. I'll get out of the way here, Jordan. Why don't we show a shot of the inside? You got a ton of shelves.
Yeah, it's a good sized closet, ton of shelves. I mean, walk in here, and then it has another closet behind the entry door to this room. Perfect size, you know, I mean, you could separate your winter clothes and your summer clothes, do something.
Now, another thing is right before you get to the bathroom, you've got the sliding barn door, the exposed hardware. It's not cheap to do this. It costs money, especially for the hardware. But inside, you've got a dual vanity, a mid-level tower in the middle with a ton of drawers. And again, we've got soft close cabinets and drawers everywhere in here.
That's right. And then beautiful how they tiled the shower floor to ceiling. You do have a little transom window up there, nice and tall, so you get the privacy. And I believe we need to head to the basement now.
Actually, we skipped the deck intentionally. So a little bit about this area. This is the suburb of Spring Hill, Kansas. Small town feel. It's south of Overland Park. You've got a ton of growth in the city of Overland Park, and we're seeing a lot of that here in Spring Hill as well. A lot of the time, you're going to find the most affordable new construction homes in all of Johnson County in one of these cities, like Spring Hill, DeSoto, Gardner, Kansas. And Spring Hill, we'll put it on the screen. The median price point for new construction is right around $426,990. This house falls just under that. And we'll tell you about the community in a second. But Jordan, you got the sliding door, composite decking, which we've toured homes up to 700, 800 where we don't even see this level of finishes.
Yeah, you also have the fortress rail. And the one thing that, you know, maybe if you were to build this home, you might want to add stairs down to the backyard. Builders don't normally include that. It is normally an extra cost.
Yeah, so right now, if you've got a dog, I've got a dog, that would mean you're going downstairs to the unfinished basement to let them out, or you're going outside. So stairs down, certainly something to add. Most builders, they're going to be around 8,500 to maybe up to 15,000, depending on what you need. You will need a concrete landing at the bottom. But this house is in a fast-growing community called Dayton Creek. It is in Spring Hill, Kansas. We'll put the location of the community on the map. They've got quite a few different price points here, starting in the 300s, where you will see some homes that are built on slab with 2-car garages. And they actually have this exact plan, but with finished basements starting at $480,000, and several of those being built that go all the way up to the 500s. Amenities are already in. And just to give you an example of the basement, why don't we go ahead and take a look?
Yeah, so technically this is a reverse plan. Now this particular home we're in would be considered a ranch because the basement's not finished. But Nick, we've got 9-foot walls down here. You'd walk right down into your rec room here, and about where you're standing would be where the bedroom would be placed.
Yep, this would probably be your bedroom wall. The nice thing, again, this is one of the most expensive lot types we see. It requires the deck. You've got an exit right off of the basement onto the ground level of the backyard. You've got a patio out there. And then Jordan, one of the nice things about a plan like this is if you do finish the basement, you don't have to finish all of it, or you can finish a little bit more depending on what you need. You get all of this space down here.
Yeah, a ton of extra storage space. And then over here is where you would plumb in the bathroom.
Now that's all for house number 1. We've got 2 more homes with major differences in the location, what the communities offer as well as the square footage level of finishes. Any questions buying, building a new construction home in Kansas City? All of our contact info is on the screen. We're going to point out those differences as we make our way throughout the video. Feel free to give us a phone call, text message, email. We'd love to set you up for success. We're going to head about 20 minutes east to one of the most popular suburbs in Overland Park, to a community called Southern Meadows.
And it has some of the lowest home prices in the Blue Valley School District. But first, house number 2, the specs are on the screen. This is a reverse 1.5-story floor plan that features 4 beds, 4 full baths, 3,236 square feet. It sits on a 0.22 acre lot and priced at just $799,000.
Now, big difference in the exterior for that price point. A couple of them, trim applied garage doors. You got these stain accents above, a little higher end light fixtures, and all of this stone, Jordan. Look at all that.
A lot of stacked stone on the front and the stucco finish.
Now, we've got black windows on the outside, which cost more because they have to be made with different materials so they don't fade with the sunlight. And we've got some beautiful 5-panel French doors. And as soon as you step inside, you've got a clear line of sight from front to back. One thing specific to this property, where this community is located, is situated right on the other side is acres of farmland. Those cows in the distance, if you can see them, they move around throughout the day, which is really fun to watch. But turning back to the entry, Jordan, Lambie Homes, Kansas City Home Builder Hall of Fame. This is a brand new plan that we have never toured before.
Yeah, very impressive builder. They always do a great job with their quality of finishes and quality of work. But Nick, as soon as you walk into this home, nice wide entry. We've got like 12-foot tall ceilings in here. And one thing we noticed, you've got this ceiling trim all the way around in this entire room. We've never seen that before.
We walked in and I was like, the ceilings have baseboards in this house, which is...
it's even wider than what's on the floor.
So ceiling heights, you've got the French doors, you've got a lot more square footage in the formal entry. One other thing we tend to notice in house number 1, that was very efficient for the square footage. They had a staircase, it was behind a door, and it was a straight shot down. Here, the staircase takes up a little bit more space because the house is bigger, but it's also a focal point. It creates a lot of volume.
Yeah, it becomes a design element in the home. And like Nick said, it just creates a lot of volume with this extra space here in the living room, in the entry. It's a nice touch. But what we do have is the master bedroom on one side of the home in the rear. And then we have the secondary bedroom here in the front. And one thing that I love that they did, they brought the engineered hardwoods into this second bedroom space. Something we don't always see. A lot of times it can be carpet. And Nick, we have casement windows in the front. It's a step up from the single hung windows. So they have a seal all the way around. They're more energy efficient and they open up all the way to allow for a lot more airflow.
Now, we typically see these at higher price points, but there's a bigger difference between just having them in the front and having them throughout the house. They do make the elevation look better. Again, you said a step up. That weather seal all the way around is a big deal for energy efficiency. But Jordan, one other thing is I think these ceilings are taller than the entry.
Yeah, I think they're probably a foot taller or so. I mean, very tall ceilings in here. And then if you swing around, Nick, we've got the main bathroom. I love how they did the herringbone floor. You've got the floating vanity. I like this enamel color, quartz countertop.
Yeah, to lay the tile like this, it costs more. The labor cost is higher. We'll swing around and get a quick shot of the full bathroom. But Jordan, I will meet you around the corner because I'm excited to take a look at this family room and the fireplace. He was going to point this out. You got a hall closet right here.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy about those.
Looks like all the other ones.
Here's a big difference that I just realized we should point out. You have 8-foot doors throughout the main level.
Yeah.
Makes a really big difference. It makes the house feel bigger, and it's something that we'd always recommend upgrading to at this price point.
Yep. So compared to the last home, we do have a formal entry here. We have a little bit more separation, and this is a nice, nice big sized living room, Nick. I love the floating shelves, floating vanity, and then beautiful gas fireplace.
Now, a lot of the time, and we'll get to this in a sec, a lot of the time in the Blue Valley School District in Overland Park, you're usually not going to see finishes this nice at this price point. That has a lot more to do with this community and how low the prices are here compared to many others. But another big thing, Jordan, is we get this huge wall of windows.
Yeah, I love the wall of windows. It allows for that line of sight that you touched on earlier. And I don't think you can really go wrong with too many windows. But this kitchen, I love it. So kind of like the last house, we've got cabinets all the way to the ceiling. You've got this light gray enamel like we saw on the vanity in the bathroom. Huge island, Nick. Allows for a lot of seating.
Yep, and I like, we mentioned cabinets to the ceiling. The last house had cabinets to the ceiling, which was extremely impressive. Last house had down lighting as well. You get some additional cabinets, the glass panel here, instead of just the uppers, you've got this whole wall. And then Jordan, I think automatic light in the pantry.
Yeah, let me see.
There it is.
Automatic light.
Automatic light.
You've got the microwave. Very, very impressive pantry. You've got the built-in cabinets and
yeah, the drawers right here, I left these open. That's such a good look, but I know a lot of you are looking for this prep space. It's so nice to have. They added 2 outlets there. It costs extra to do it, but you get these real cabinets instead of just the shelving. This house is a little bit of an outlier compared to what you're usually gonna see at this price point, but that just has a little bit more to do with this area, the cost of land here, etc. Jordan, one hallmark feature of this plan is the beams.
yes, I love the beams in this formal dining room. So very similar to the Bridgewater that we toured here at Southern Meadows. Now it had the slanted roof, so the beams going one way, but beautiful size or great size dining room here. I love the light fixture. You've got the wall of windows. And then if we step out onto the patio, Nick, we've got a covered patio and an oversized patio down below.
Now this is on a flat lot. We mentioned the walkout lot for house number 1, quite a bit more expensive because you have the deck, you have to have a patio for that exit below ground. You also have windows above ground in that lower level on house number 1. This being a flat lot, we've got the concrete patio, but something that most builders are not going to do standard is they pour this extra grill deck area.
Yeah, I love having the grill space, creates that nice separation. You don't get the smoke all over your seating area.
And you can sit out here and watch the cows that I keep talking about, just because it's so unique. We just don't see that, especially with new construction. So, Jordan, a little bit about this area, Overland Park, the median price point, it's around the 900s when it comes to new construction, but the Blue Valley School District drives that price up quite a bit.
Yeah, so that's what makes this home really impressive. Here in Southern Meadows, we're on the east side of 69 Highway and a little bit farther south than that new homes corridor that we're used to, but we are in the Blue Valley School District and the prices here are just pretty phenomenal. This home comes in at $800,000. I think if it was on the other side, it might be around 900, might be around $1 million.
Jordan, beams again.
Yeah, beams in the master bedroom. I mean, that's an awesome design element. And then look, check out the accent wall. You got to see that, Nick. It reminds me of the spindles on the staircase. I don't know, we'll have to get another shot of it when we go downstairs.
I like that a lot. Now, we mentioned the casement windows in the front. Having them in the back is a big deal. Energy efficiency, all of that. We've also got the engineered hardwood floors throughout the main level, which is very impressive. Usually we see carpet. One other thing, Jordan, if you'll point to it, we've got electrical for a TV run right there as well.
Yeah, that's a nice touch by the builder. We don't always see that very often. You come around here to the master bathroom, you've got the French doors in the entry. A lot of volume in here. This is a big space. You have the freestanding tub. You've got the picture window. May need to frost that or put some shades on. We've got the neighbor next door. And Nick, we don't have the mirror hung yet, but this is a beautiful twin vanity floating. I like the gray enamel.
I think it has underlighting.
It might.
Oh, it's got underlighting.
There we go.
Look at that. So they've got the mirrors that they're going to mount the other one on. But one thing that we noticed is you've got the light fixtures up top. They did a recessed light in between each of those, which was interesting. You get a lot of light there. And then Jordan, the shower. You've got the Euro style door. And then
very impressive. You've got the penny tile on the floor. You've got a bench there. Now it's got a slab. It's not a tile slab for the seating. I'm always impressed when I see that. And then you have that built-in niche too.
Now, water closet is just to your left. We don't usually spend too much time on those, but the closet, you've got pull-down racks, 3 tiers of hanging space. Oh my goodness, these keep going. How many are there in here?
Yeah, 3 tiers high.
6 of these in here?
Yeah, 3 tiers high. You've got a ton of shelves. And one thing that's really nice, high quality, is they did the face framing on the shelving. We don't always see that. And then Nick, it just wraps right around here to the laundry room. They've got the sink. You have a pocket door there where Nick's standing, so it really frees up a lot of space. And then you've got the shelf with the hanger space.
Now, we do have a boot bench here. This is separate from the front entry. You've got the garage entry just to our left. I like that you've got the mid-sized tower there with all the shelving and drawers. You've got the boot bench with the stain top. The stain top is key because it's not going to scratch or chip like paint normally would. And then you've got just a ton of hooks there, Jordan. Look at that.
Yeah, a ton of hanging space, and you got your cubbies up top. And just to touch on the stain, Nick, normally it's paint, and the stain, excuse me, the stain is going to add a little bit more cost because, well, it's just a longer process and more work to do that. Before we head down, or heading downstairs, I love this carpet. I know you said it's one of your favorites, right?
I think it's got a really classy look to it. You've got the hardwood landing here. And then downstairs, we actually have 2 bedrooms that each have a private bath. We'll show you the first one right here. Has a huge closet. And then here's a shot of that full bathroom. Jordan, on the other side, so on our left side, we've also got another bedroom.
Yep, we have another bedroom. It's huge with one of the biggest walk-in closets that I've ever seen on the lower level, and beautiful bathroom as well. But Nick, you got to get a shot of those spindles.
Yes, that's exactly what you were talking about with that accent wall. Very, very good point there. You picked up on the pattern pretty well. Down here, we've got a huge rec room. This basement is below ground. It's not a walkout like house number 1. So not quite natural light down here, but you do get a ton of recessed lights.
Yeah, a lot of recessed lights. We don't always see that. It is an extra cost to do. And then you also have this extra space over here. You could put a dining table, poker table, whatever you want to set up. And Nick, this is a huge, extra wide walk-up wet bar.
Yeah, I like that they already included the beverage cooler there. And then you also have this tile. They took it all the way to the soffit, but I like the ceramic glaze. It goes very well with what we saw in the kitchen.
But that's all for house number 2. We're going to head about 15 minutes north to one of the most luxurious suburbs in Kansas City, and the community is called Aventino.
Now, we filmed a number of different videos here in Aventino. Some of you might recognize that iconic model row. It's all sold out at this point, but this house, it's move-in ready for sale. It's the Avila, expanded by J.S. Robinson Fine Homes. 4 beds, 3 baths, 3,509 square feet. It's on a 0.27 acre lot. Comes in just under 1.35 million. Now, Jordan, I know we moved from Overland Park to Leawood. The land value goes up, but so do the community requirements here in Aventino. One example is the 4-sided stucco.
Yeah, and not just the stucco, but you also have things like upgraded landscaping, and this looks absolutely beautiful. I love those evergreen trees.
We're going to see quite a bit around back as well, but let's take a look inside. As soon as you step inside, you're going to notice some similarities between this and house number 2, but some very big differences. We talked a little bit about it outside Aventino. It's right off 135th Street, located in Leawood, but close to Overland Park, just minutes away off 135th Street. All the best shops, restaurants, entertainment spots, possibly in all of Kansas City. That's part of what makes this specific location desirable. There's no barn or farmland or cows in the back, as we're a little bit closer to the city. And starting with the entry, yeah, we've got the French doors, the decorative glass panel, the transom up top. You'll notice throughout the house, the light fixtures, plumbing fixtures, countertops, tile, all upgraded to meet and exceed the expectations of this price point.
Yeah, and this one's very unique. You've got the gold accent color, but then also all the veining in that glass around the lights just pops out at you.
Very unique. So a lot of differences between this and house number 2 we're going to get to in a second, but this is one of the similarities. You've got the office, it's off to one side of the entry. They carried the engineered hardwood floors in here. You've got a little bit of echo on the audio, I guess, unless I can figure out how to fix that. I've been working on that, but vaulted ceiling, that's part of the reason for it. You've got this reeded light fixture, which gives you some texture. I've been seeing a lot of reeded fixtures recently.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we're definitely seeing at the higher price point. We're going to see it kind of throughout this home with the finishes, whether it's a light fixture, faucet, tile, countertops
Yeah.
even.
Yeah.
So
Windows, we talked about in house number 2, casement windows. It's the expectation of this price point. It's definitely what we want to see. The energy efficiency, the airflow, it's just got a more upscale look. You've got I keep wanting to say the 10-foot doors. They look very tall. They're 8-foot doors. It's always nice to have them because it makes the whole house feel much bigger. But we've got a private bath right off the office.
what I love about this, they took the tile from the tub all the way to the ceiling. They have the transom window in there. It lets in all that light, but you still get the privacy. And then the floating vanity with the downlighting. And this is a very exotic leathered granite countertop.
I believe it's leathered granite, but
Yeah,
yes,
don't see
we've
that very
got,
often.
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the countertops in a second. This is really the hallmark feature of the plan, the vaulted ceiling, the beams. What's so impressive about this, the complexity of the roof line to allow for this almost entire wall of windows that follows the vault, and the roof line of the covered patio with the fireplace. Oh my goodness, it's my favorite thing about the plan.
Yep, and the windows up top, they line up with the vault of the exterior covered porch, and it's beautiful.
Now, one key difference, we're going to get to that fireplace outside in a second, but we got to start with the one inside, right? It only makes sense. This fireplace compared to house number 2. House number 2 had tile from mantle to floor. This one, you're going floor to ceiling. And the tile, it's got this nice 3D kind of texture to it, which just, I think it breaks up some of the design elements we're seeing throughout the house pretty well. Light fixture, you've got the matte black gold combo. The lights are not on because I couldn't find those 2 switches, so that's an error. That's an operator error. Well, I think, Jordan,
Maybe.
I tried these, I
Oh,
promise.
you tried them, okay.
Yeah, it must be the breaker that's turned off. So that's on me, not on the builder. But one of the big differences, this space right here, I mean, this is huge. You've got this massive alley between the island as well as the end of the family room. You've got a little bit of separation between where the vault ends and the kitchen ceiling starts. But another big difference is where the placement of the garage entry is. So we'll do this pretty quick. The garage is going to be very similar, but the boot bench, a little upgraded. So same deal, you've got the stained top. You've got maybe some upgraded hooks, similar type of trim detail, but you get this extra built in right here for shoes. And then they actually put an outlet inside. Not that we're gonna show that. We don't want to spend too much. But coat closet right off here. You've got the double doors for extra width. And one of my favorite things about this plan, aside from the vaulted ceilings, is how they did the kitchen layout. So we mentioned all the space there between the fireplace and right here. One big difference at this price point, we start to see a lot of natural surface countertops instead of quartz, right? Quartz is man-made. This is quartzite. I'm almost certain this is quartzite. What that means is it's a natural stone. It's a little bit more heat resistant, but one thing that I notice about quartz versus quartzite is quartz, depending on what you pick, sometimes it can certainly look man-made. It doesn't have a real look. The veining looks kind of synthetic. This definitely has a real look to it. There's no slab that will look identical to another one. And Jordan, they carried it up the backsplash here.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things that I like to see is when they use it as a backsplash, it flows really, really nice. And then they have the outlets underneath the cabinets, tucked away. They're not on the wall. It's just a good look.
Yes, if you're going to spend the money to do a backsplash like this, you got to tuck the outlets under because you don't want, face plates hiding all of the beautiful natural stone. The other thing is, I love this faucet. We tend to see it in homes at this price point. You've got the knurling on there, the gold, which goes really, really well with some of the light fixtures. You'll see poles that are similar to this downstairs in the wet bar. But I'm kind of trying to figure out where to go from here, Jordan. I think right here, you've got the separation, the glass panel, the downlighting. I love this. You've got the cutout for the beverage cooler right there.
Yeah, they even took the counter up the backsplash on the perimeter, which we don't see that very often. Cabinets all the way to the ceiling, and then the range hood too. It's huge on this.
It is really big. Let me turn the light on real quick. Maybe, there we go. That didn't make any difference. So we already had the downlighting. So stacked microwave oven. Really, this is what I'm excited to show you. You've got a full pantry with the prep surface right here. You've also got the faucet. It overlooks the window in the side yard, floating shelves, the ceramic tile all the way up. I mean, Jordan, one thing I want to point out here, you've got this dark veining in the quartzite, which they also put in here. And then you've got this darker enamel color here on the pantry cabinet. Soft close everything, by the way.
Yeah, I love the gold pulls. And then I guess I'll step in here. All this storage space. They did the enamel paint. Lasts a lot longer. I know you like that pantry door, right?
I love this pantry door. Whenever you see a door like this where it's got a glass panel and it's 8 feet tall, that I'm a big fan of it. We are going to move around here. One thing that we did not point out regarding the kitchen is you have this box vault. It extends from the dining room all the way back to the other side of the kitchen. Super impressive. Jordan, this is not a normal box vault. It has modern crown molding. It's almost 1.5 to 2 feet in depth.
Yep, super cool. I love the fact that it spans all the way from the kitchen to the dining area. That's something we don't normally see. And then where you're standing right there, I love how they recessed the built-ins into the wall. Got the quartz countertop. They brought it over here as well. I mean, they really spared no expense.
They will fix the under or the downlighting here in a set, probably before closing, but I like that they've got that same. This is such an interesting splash. It almost looks glass. It's definitely not the same ceramic stuff that we see, but you also have the quartzite there, which is such a good look. But just this space here in this part of the plan, I think they did a great job. This must be why they call it the expanded version, because of all that alley space that we talked about. But you've got the 8-foot sliding door. It's black on the outside, as are the windows, so the cost of that is higher. But Jordan, the big difference is we've got 4-sided stucco, and we've got the exterior outdoor fireplace with the cutout for the TV. They ran the electrical for it.
Yeah, it's ready to go. You know, that way you can enjoy your evenings, especially when this construction's done and they don't have all the noise, but it'll be a nice spot to relax.
That's right. And it could easily be screened in. One last thing we want to point out, it's going to come into play here in a second, is they took a flat lot and turned it into the functionality of a daylight lot. So you get this huge window well with real windows above ground in the basement. I love the retaining wall. I think it's a great look.
Yeah, natural finishes, natural rock. I mean, it just so much better than concrete.
Yeah, and that's part of what we're seeing here, in probably because we're at Aventino and the community requirements a little bit higher. But this master suite, it feeds all the way around right here to the laundry room. So we're going to start here. You've got engineered hardwood floors. Similar deal with the kitchen, the box vault, it's a little deeper. You got the modern crown molding. They also added, Jordan, you've got the recessed lights plus the light fixture.
Yeah, beautiful light fixture. And then the back wall of windows. So picture window in the middle, you've got casement on each side. And then where you're standing there, Nick, beautiful trimmed out wall.
That's just such a classy look. I like that they have 2 layers of trim work here. I just think it adds a little bit more depth. Nice and subtle. It doesn't scream at you or anything like that. It's very similar to house number 2, but one big difference. These are magnetic. They're not a roller. The rollers always catch, so they need to be adjusted from time to time. This is super smooth. The doors, Jordan, maybe here, go ahead and feel this real quick. It's definitely heavy. I don't know. It does
feel heavy.
I don't know if
that
it's
feels like a
solid
solid door.
Yeah, so huge bathroom. The first thing that we couldn't figure out is what these tops are. Most likely, these are some sort of like leathered soapstone or suede soapstone. It could be a quartz, but really nice feel to it. It's not polished or anything. You do have a tower in the middle, the gold poles. And one other thing I want to mention, this is a big deal. The cost to do these cabinets, they're not just painted on the inside, there's a manufacturer finish. So they're stained on the inside. You've got a nice clear coat to them. A lot of time, even at higher price points, they'll just paint inside. You never know what it looked like underneath. And that's a way to hide the quality. So I like to see that. But you've got the framed in mirror. Again, Jordan, we got that marble looking surround on the fixture.
Oh, good catch, Nick. I didn't even notice that. And then they even did a box vault.
Oh, I didn't see that. We're both catching so. Look at this.
Vault in the bathroom, beautiful chandelier, and then this shower.
Full glass panel. Jordan, look at this 3D tile here. You can see the grooves there.
Yeah, it's almost has a fluted
Oh,
feel
it's
to it.
fluted.
Yep,
Look at
fluted
that.
tile.
Look at
You
all
got
these
the
words we're learning.
got the transom window. You've got bench seat on each side, and it's a slab top, so not tile. I just like seeing that.
Yeah, we're learning a ton of words over these last couple of weeks. Fluted, reeded. I mean, we're getting this stuff down. So you've got the water closet right here. I hope I can come up with that word after that. You've got the window in the water closet, which we almost never see. You've got the built-in storage again. You've got the pre-manufactured, pre-finished insides on the cabinets, which is a great add. And
What's
Jordan,
really nice about that too is that they did cabinet doors, and typically what we might see is just a standard door.
now, you do have a darker enamel color in here. It's a little off-white, but look at all the pull-down racks. For some reason, as we go up in price point in this video, you get more and more of these pull-down racks or valet rods. But again, you've got the face frame shelves. And Jordan, I want to show the laundry room real quick.
Yep, laundry right off the master bath closet. You do have the built-ins and lots of cabinet space.
I snuck right around him. That's where I went. So we are going to show you downstairs. Again, we talked about the staircase. It creates a lot of volume. You've got designer carpet here. It's high traffic. It's got like a memory foam feel to it.
Got a very cool look to it.
It does. So we are going to start with the secondary bedrooms because we got to save the wet bar in the rec room for last. So starting with bedroom number 1, pretty good size to it. You do have the window well right there. And if you're wondering what's straight back, this is actually part of the unfinished storage. You do have the sump pump in the corner, but we are going to show the closet right there.
Yeah, good size walk-in closet. You've got the built-in shelves. You've got all the hooks for your coats, and then hangers as well.
Now, we will show the full bath in the middle. You had that interesting exotic countertop on the vanity.
Oh, yeah, it's very similar to the upstairs bathroom. And then, Nick, look at this tile in the shower. Very unique look. And what's cool, they also put a bench seat in there as well.
I like that. I do. Is that the closet, or is that an entrance?
No, so this is actually, it's kind of a Hollywood bath.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So
all right.
We've got another sink in here, same countertop. You've got the black fixtures, and then you do have the closet for bedroom number 2 through the bathroom, which allows for more space.
Oh, they did the same top. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, did the same top.
I like that. It's just got a nice leather feel to it. Now, they upgraded the carpet in both of the bedrooms. So this is all high tread carpet. Normally what we see on stairs, can you feel the memory foam underneath?
I feel, yeah.
It feels like we're walking on a cloud. But coming around the corner, you've got this huge rec space. So this could be the sitting area. You could also have a separate card table over here. This is the same recessed hutch area that we saw in the kitchen, but what takes this basement to a whole nother level, right? We showed you house number 2. It was a flat lot. We had no natural light in the basement. This right here, it changes everything.
Yeah, anytime you can get natural light in the basement, it feels more like a main level. And I don't even like to call it basement. It's lower level because it is the lower level.
It's a basement, but you can make the basement much, much more functional by adding the natural light. And then look at it. We've just got a lot to unpack here. So first thing is you got the darker enamel color. We saw this in the pantry. You've got these poles.
They're even knurling, right?
Yes, you've got the knurling. So very similar. I did the foreshadowing. I talked about, we saw that on the kitchen faucet, but this quartzite top, I can tell you it's quartzite because I can feel the variation in it. It's not just one solid surface. You can feel the veins. Look at this. This is leathered quartzite, I believe. Natural stone. And then look at this decorative, reflective backsplash.
Yeah, it's basically a mirror.
It's got some, yeah, it's definitely got these little accents to it that make it look antique, but very, very neat look. Now, really quickly, we've got a 4th bonus round for you. We're going to tell you what that is in a second, but big thank you to all the builders. They're all very talented, optimizing for different price points, locations, but we showed each of them because we know for the price point of those homes, they're offering a tremendous amount of value. Really, the only thing that matters is no matter what price of home you decide to buy or build, that you're getting the most value and the most quality possible. We'd love to help with that. So all of our contact info is on the screen. Feel free to give us a phone call, text message, email. We'll get the best communities, the best builders, the best floor plans in front of you. Make sure you get exactly that. The final secret fourth round here. It's a $3.2 million entirely custom home. Click right here to see how it compares to all three of the ones in this video. Click right there. We'll see you on the other side.